Patrick Star. Everyone knows him as SpongeBob's dim-witted best friend, right? But what if Patrick isn't as dumb as everyone thinks? Some moments in the show hint that he might be hiding his brains behind his lovable act. For me, this raised the question, is Patrick secretly much smarter than he lets on? In this theory, we will go from exceptionally smart moments to Patrick being close to a villain, who controls and manipulates his friends. Join me as we uncover the truth behind Patrick Star. Part 1. Patrick showcasing his intelligence. Surprisingly, there have been quite a few times where Patrick has shown that he can do more than what meets the eye. In the episode Squid-tastic Voyage, Squidward accidentally swallows his clarinet reed while practicing. When desperate to retrieve it, he turns to Sandy, who comes up with a pretty good solution. Shrink down a submarine, go inside Squidward and retrieve the clarinet reed. But this doesn't exactly go as planned. While Sandy was away, SpongeBob and Patrick went inside the submarine and accidentally shrunk themselves to microscopic size. Yes, really. This meant she had to send these two inside Squidward's body, guiding them to the reed. Once they were inside Squidward's body, things got chaotic quickly. While in Squidward's brain, they started hitting things randomly and making him lose control. Squidward! What's happening? Eventually, they end up in Squidward's stomach while the acid eats away their submarine. Surprisingly, Patrick is the one who comes up with a last-moment plan to escape. He suggests drinking a large amount of soda. If Squidward can make a big enough burp, they can filter the CO2 through the ballast tanks, refire the engines, and use the shockwave to blast them out of Squidward. This isn't just some random idea. It's actually a pretty smart and calculated move. Patrick explained the entire chemistry behind it, and even beat Sandy to it. It makes you wonder how Patrick even knew to think like that. The show never explains it, but it's a big hint that Patrick might be way more capable than he lets on. Patrick can actually use some serious critical thinking skills. Way more than the show usually gives him credit for. It makes you question, is Patrick's dumbness just an act? Or maybe he's just someone who only turns on his brain when he really needs to. Either way, it's a side of Patrick you don't see often. Part 2. The Secret Box and Patrick's manipulative side. If there's one episode that perfectly showcases how Patrick is more than just a lovable dummy, it's The Secret Box. On the surface, this episode is classic SpongeBob and Patrick chaos. SpongeBob becomes obsessed with finding out what's inside Patrick's mysterious box, but Patrick refuses to let him see it. What seems like harmless fun turns into a strategic game of psychological warfare, with Patrick holding all the cards. Patrick's manipulation begins the moment he reveals the existence of the box. You can notice how he doesn't casually mention it. He brags about it. He dangles just enough information to spark SpongeBob's curiosity, but withholds any real details. This is classic psychological manipulation.
Those SpongeBobs! If only you could see inside my secret box, it would change your life.
By making the box seem so special, Patrick knows SpongeBob will become fixated on it. This is called the scarcity principle. When something is limited or forbidden, it becomes more desirable. Patrick understands this instinctively and uses it to play with SpongeBob's mind. Patrick doesn't just shut SpongeBob down once and walks away. He keeps bringing up the box, bringing it outside, laughing heavily at it and showing it to him. For example, when SpongeBob pleads to see inside, Patrick pretends to give in, only to snatch the box away at the last second. This creates a loop where SpongeBob's frustration grows every time he gets close to the secret, but is denied. The more Patrick toys with him, the more SpongeBob's curiosity turns into desperation.
So, witness! It's a heavy burden, SpongeBob, but nobody must know the mystery of the box. Nobody! Not even Squidward's house.
What makes Patrick's manipulation even more cruel is how he exploits their friendship. By pretending to be hurt when SpongeBob takes the box from him, Patrick guilt-trips him into backing off, telling him that if he touches it one more time, they won't be friends anymore. Only to restart the cycle of manipulation moments later.
I have soiled our friendship garden. I just couldn't help myself. I know it's your secret. I promise to respect that. Oh, please forgive me, Patrick. Please. Well, I guess it's not all your fault. After all, this is a pretty great secret. I mean, how could you resist the greatest secret ever? The most amazing. mysterious, powerful secret in all of Bikini Bottom.
This back and forth creates an emotional roller coaster for SpongeBob, a roller coaster that he later can't resist anymore. SpongeBob becomes so obsessed that he sneaks into Patrick's house in the middle of the night, trying to rob the secret box, but the climax of the episode explains the most manipulative side of Patrick's plan. After spending the entire episode building up the mystery, Patrick finally gives in and lets SpongeBob look into the box. When he opens it, he finds nothing. The box is empty, except for a piece of string. While laughing it off, SpongeBob returns home, not knowing that pulling the string leads to a secret compartment at the front of the secret box, containing a humiliating photo of him at the Christmas party. Now, what does this exactly mean for Patrick? If the box had stayed the same throughout the episode, Patrick would have knowingly been laughing at a piece of string the entire time. All while, he tried to convince SpongeBob it was much more, what confirms how manipulative and smart he actually can be. It's kind of evil, especially against your own best friend. But when it suits Patrick, SpongeBob is often the victim of his manipulative side. What is, on the other hand, pretty logical. Manipulators often target their own friends. It is way easier to manipulate someone who already trusts you and is close to you. This particular episode raised the question for me. Is Patrick really as clueless as he seems? Or is he secretly much smarter? So smart that he manipulates his friends by his dumbness. Many fans overlook this darker side of Patrick, but episodes like The Secret Box show that there's more to him than we know. One of Patrick's most overlooked qualities is his emotional intelligence. Time and time again, Patrick proves that when it comes to reading and understanding the emotions of his friends, he's surprisingly insightful. One of the earliest examples is seen in Help Wanted, where SpongeBob feels insecure about applying for the fry cook position at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob is on the verge of giving up, but Patrick swoops in with words of encouragement, pushing him to go for it, offering exactly the kind of motivation SpongeBob needed at that moment.
You're going to the Krusty Krab and get that job. I can't, don't you see? I'm not good enough.
Whose first words were, "May I take your order?"
Who made a spatula out of toothpicks and wood chop?
I did.
Who's a big yellow cube with holes? Who's ready? I'm ready. Who's ready? I'm ready. Who's ready? I'm ready.
Without Patrick's support, SpongeBob may have never gotten his dream job at the Krusty Krab. Patrick's emotional intelligence also stands out in the episode Something Smells. After eating a sundae made of rotten ingredients, SpongeBob becomes convinced that he's hideously ugly when everyone starts avoiding him. It's a rough moment for him, but Patrick, being the solid friend he is, steps in and helps SpongeBob with it. Through encouragement, he makes SpongeBob say,
I'm ugly. You're ugly and what?
Square?
No, proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Good. Say it loud. I am ugly and I'm proud. Louder. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Louder. I'm ugly and I'm proud. I am ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Is that what he calls it? Okay, sure. The wording is a little weird, but the message is actually pretty deep. It's not about how you look. It's about accepting yourself. Patrick spends the whole day cheering SpongeBob up, making him feel valued and reminding him that he's awesome just the way he is. It's moments like these that show Patrick's emotional intelligence, even if he doesn't always get credit for it. So if Patrick has shown he can be smart and strategic, why does he act dumb most of the time? I came to 3 possible reasons. 1. It's easier to be underestimated. By acting dumb, Patrick avoids responsibility and high expectations. No one expects much from him, which lets him coast through life with minimal effort. 2. It's a defense mechanism. Acting dumb lets Patrick avoid conflict and blame. If people think he's clueless, they're less likely to hold him accountable for mistakes. And 3, he's content with the simple life. Patrick lives under a rock, eats ice cream, and spends his days jellyfishing with SpongeBob. He probably knows he could do more, but he's happy with what he has. So, is Patrick actually dumb? Not exactly. Patrick has plenty of moments where he seems clueless, but they don't define who he is. He's shown that he can be smart, strategic, and emotionally aware when it matters. Whether he's outsmarting SpongeBob, coming up with escape plans, or manipulating some situations to his advantage, Patrick proves that there's more to him than meets the eye. Maybe Patrick isn't a genius in the traditional sense, but he's far from the clueless star the show makes him out to be. What do you think? Is Patrick hiding his smarts on purpose, or is he just lucky? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more SpongeBob theories.